Hello, everyone, and welcome to LJ's Spurs Chat. I'm LJ. Hello, everyone. Tonight we're joined by Big John and Simon. How are you guys?
You're all right, Lou. Sweet.
Enjoyed the game
Yep.
last
Did I enjoy the game? I enjoyed the last 20 minutes of it.
John? Same as you?
Yeah, exactly the same as me. Last 25, 30 minutes was lovely.
Yeah, it was good to see the academy boys do well. Right, I'll just run through what happened last night for those of you who had a lot of inboxes today, saying a lot of people didn't watch it, they couldn't get a stream. So obviously it was Spurs 3, Elfsborg 0. Goals from academy youngsters Scarlett, AJ and Mikey Moore put an end to the recent Spurs slump. The first half was Tottenham dominating possession without creating clear-cut chances, really. The best chance was created by Sonny down the left, crossing for Mikey Moore, whose shot was brilliantly saved. A major plus for Spurs was Van der Ven, who looked comfortable in his return. He looked calm and strong, although didn't once have to test his hamstring as Elfsborg offered next to nothing in the attacking force. Van der Ven was withdrawn at half-time. Ange Postecoglou confirming the plan was to let him just have the 45 minutes. Kulu and Basuma also came on for the second half in place of Son and Bentancur. Spurs started the second half brightly. Davis hitting a shot from 25 yards straight at the keeper. On 52 minutes, Spurs were very lucky not to go a goal down as Abdoulaye stepped away from Dragusin and his shot seemed to hit the Spurs keeper in the head. 5 minutes later, Porro down the right, into the box, past a few players, dinked in a lovely little cross, Bergvall diving header, but again, straight at the goalkeeper. On 64 minutes, the Spurs injury drinks struck again as Dragusin looked like he'd twisted his knee, so he had to come off. Ange had to rejig things. Scarlett came on. Davis and Gray partnered each other in the central of defence, Sarr having to move to left back. In the 69th minute, a lovely curling ball over the top by Kuvalevski, headed into the net by Scarlett for his first goal for Tottenham. Eyes of one of our own reverberated around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 71 minutes, Mikey Moore into the box and had his shot saved. 9 minutes later, Ritchie had to come off for AJ. And 3 minutes later, AJ drives up the defence, plays a lovely 1-2 with Scarlett and passes the ball into the bottom corner. Lovely goal, 2-0 Spurs. Every Spurs fan at home or inside the stadium are now praying that Mikey Moore could get a chance to get him on the score sheet to join the two academy players that had already scored. And this chance soon arrives. Running at the defence, he cut into the box and hit it back across where he came, 3-0. Brilliant goal from the youngest Englishman now to score in a major European game at 17 years, 172 days, breaking Jimmy Greaves' record from 1957. So Spurs are through 3 academy lads all score. Van der Ven returns. A good night for Tottenham. The stats, Spurs had 11 shots on target, Elfsborg's 0, corners 10-0, and possession 70-30. Total domination from Tottenham. So Simon, what do you reckon to that? When you read it like that, it sounds like we played superb, but I thought they played within themselves in the first half. Second half was a little bit better, but you have to be patient, don't you, against when a team sits behind the ball like that for 90 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Elfsborg at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's like, and the watching that first half was painful. Yeah, because although we dominated possession, we just couldn't break them down. Or it was kind of like the final product wasn't fantastic in that first half. We got in really great positions, but then the final product was pretty poor. And you kind of knew it was one of them teams where it took everything they had to keep us out. Yeah. And you kind of felt that the goal had changed the game. And there was that little moment where one of their players had an overhead kick. And I thought, if he'd have got a little bit more on that, or a little bit less on that, I should say, it'd probably gone under.
Into it, the goalie in the head.
I'm not sure what it hit, but
yeah,
it was close.
Scored, yeah.
And I was thinking when it was dropping to him, I was thinking, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we got the first goal, and I mean, I was really pleased with that last 20-25 minutes, and Dane came on and he did change the game.
Shalom.
He looked hungry. Got on the end of that, got his head on the end of that cross, and I mean, it was a lovely cross and a lovely header. So great goal. And then you go to the second. And Jay looked
Second
like
goal,
second
great.
he came in. And he looked like Dane's confidence was up. So Jay played the ball into him. Nice little layoff. Took it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he scuffed the shot or not, but found the bottom corner. Lovely jubbly. And then at that point, I was just thinking, please.
So you texted me, didn't you, for Mikey Moore? And I think it was all thinking.
I texted you. I said, please let Mikey have one.
Yeah.
If Mikey was to score one, it would be perfect. And so you got to look at it. We won the game. 3 academies players all scored their first goal. Clean sheet. Top 4 in the Europa League, and our cup form versus our league form, they're like we're not 2 different teams.
Yeah.
So we're in a solid position. The worst thing that could happen is probably getting Galatasaray in the next round. But other than that, you look at the other teams.
Is that a two-legged thing?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Is that a two-legged thing, John? I'm not sure now. What's
that, Lou? I've got an ass full of nutcases. I've had to keep muting it because coughing and farting, brother.
You can tell it's like, no, I don't know if the next round is two-legged. I'd imagine it is, isn't it?
I ain't got a clue, Lou, to be honest with you.
If I was being a pessimist, John, would you say that Ange got a bit lucky last night, actually, because of Dragusin's injury and because he had to rejig it about? Because it seemed to turn after he got injuries and the academy players came on, didn't it?
Sounds fair. I think that sounds fair. I think I think it was like pulling the old one arm, what I call it, the fruit machine, and he got 3 cherries there. You know what I mean?
It was all, they was good, weren't
they? I was just hoping for that Mickey Moore at the end, and as soon as he got the ball and he started running towards goal, I thought, do you know what? That boy is just going to go for it now because the other 2 have got the goals, and he must feel a bit left out.
Yeah, I bet he would have done after that as well, wouldn't he?
And it was just so nice for him to get that first goal. The third goal. It was just lovely.
Who impressed you last night, Simon, in the Spurs team? I thought Bergvall had his moments, but he lost it a little bit.
But Bergvall was just trying. I think he looked like he was trying to overdo it, trying to impress his Swedish, his compatriots, basically. So he was like playing it. He was playing against a Swedish team, and he wanted to show what he can do.
There's some player there, though, isn't there?
I mean, I'm glad Mikey came in through. Mickey came through and got his 45 minutes under his belt. So I think he needed that. And you look at it, and everyone around him looks more comfortable when he's playing.
Yeah,
and they're not scared.
That's why I was a bit gutted about Dragusin getting the injury, because what Dragusin probably needs is probably a few games next to Mickey rather than next to, because it's like he's not sure because he's like, I'm playing with this kid. Well, the kid basically showed him up most games, but it's just like his confidence was not really there. And I think if he was playing alongside Mickey, I reckon he would have been a much more confident player. So it's just, I hope he's not done anything too serious.
Well, I think that Gray's been outstanding for me, considering where he's at. And he's 18.
Every time we go live, I just say I love the kid. You put him in, and he does a job. Then something goes on, so you have to move him somewhere else. He does a job there. He does a job there. He does a job. It's just mental, and he's like 18 years old, and we've relied on him to plug pretty much every gap we've had in the team.
And he just don't do a mediocre job. He does a good job, doesn't he? You know,
you don't want him not to be in the team, do you? You want him in now.
Yeah.
No matter where he's playing.
I don't care if all the other players come back, and I want Gray in the team. Yeah, I want Bergvall. I was a bit disappointed with him yesterday.
He was hot and cold.
He gave the ball away too many times.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I think you got to sit back sometimes. I mean, you know, when they're that young, they're going to make a few cock-ups. Do you know what I mean?
But even when the experienced players, that Porro, do you know what? I'm finding him more and more selfish as we keep playing games with these taking to the shops. You know, I'm not a big Porro fan. No
You're
more.
Not,
No, not no more.
Let's move on to the bit of news. What we got here? Oh, that Matthias Tell has rejected Tottenham's proposal.
Do you know what? In my mind, I was like, why would he take a step this far down?
I said that to John. I'm not excited at all. I didn't think he'd join.
No, that's what I was like. If what he probably wants to do is get a loan somewhere, prove himself, and then go back to Bayern.
That's what they're saying. But apparently, Man United and Villa are favourites now to get him on loan. Spurs are in discussions, apparently, with Inter Milan centre-back Fikayo Tomori. And I think he played for Chelsea, didn't he, Simon? I was saying to John, I can't remember, but do you remember Tomori? He was good. He's had a bit of an off time, but yeah, I think he'd be a good thing. But Ange Postecoglou has come out and said it all depends on Dragusin's injury. To be fair, if that Tomori can get back to the form that he had, it'd be better than Dragusin, in my opinion.
I mean, the thing is he can play. He can play football.
Yeah.
That's what Ange wants from his defenders, to be able to be comfortable on the ball.
But guess what, John?
Tomori can do that.
When I was doing a bit of homework on him, he's had 4 hamstring injuries. So he should fit quite well in, shouldn't he, eh?
Yeah, Tottenham medical bench, lovely.
Like they're getting
St John's ambulance.
Maybe that's why Levy don't want to spend, because he's paying the medical team so much overtime. This is a typical one that not many have heard of. Spurs did make an offer of €4 million for 17-year-old Valencia future star David Atorbi, but the deal was rejected as Valencia wanted €5 million and a sell-on fee. And Spurs wouldn't entertain it. I've never heard of him, but that is a typical Levy deal for me. Do you know what I mean? I've never heard of him. Injuries.
What about what's his name? I was reading something about Dan Batty from.
Oh yeah, they signed him. They signed him, for Manchester City. That's David Batty's son.
Yeah.
They've signed him. That's 500
Has he
grand.
signed?
He's signed, yeah. Injuries. Dragusin hyperextended his knee due to an awkward landing. Further tests are to check if anything has been damaged inside the joint. If not, he'd be all right. As I said to you, John, didn't I? Earlier in the season, they didn't say nothing about it, but Van der Ven hyperextended his knee. But after checks, he was fine. So we just got to wait on that. As for the other players, Spence will be back for the weekend. Sarr should be okay. He's got a slight niggle. Vicario should be back on the 3rd of February. Udogie, Odegaard, Johnson and Werner will be back for the 10th of February. Solanke, the 3rd of March. Van der Ven's obviously fit. Romero is actually fit, but they're being very cautious as he's a very slow healer. So it looks like we're getting most of our players back, which is good.
Sounds like we're keeping Werner then.
Yeah, I was just Simon's mate is. He can't wait when we get back. Look.
Oh.
You was happy. I saw you had a little smile there when I mentioned Odegaard, and then the smile went when Werner. But I heard that Werner was going on loan, but I haven't heard anything else about that.
I mean, Werner had a little spell. He scored the goal against City, and then he played well the next couple of games, and then he just reverted back to the same old ways. Yeah. And I thought he was just turning the corner, but
his confidence is shot, Simon. His confidence is shot to bits, isn't it? We move on to Brentford on Sunday, and they're notoriously good at home. Are we expecting anything from that game?
I mean, look, they're notoriously good at home, and we're notoriously bad away, so it doesn't bode well.
No.
Well, apparently we've got a good defensive record away from home, which baffles me.
Yeah, but we keep losing them by 1.
Pardon?
I mean, we can defend, but we still lose by 1 every time. So
yeah.
See, that's the weird thing, isn't it, John? We only seem to lose by 1 goal.
It's mad, but I'm not. I did say a prediction to my wife. We was going to win 3-1 at Brentford.
Did you?
Yeah. Just we've got to win sometime.
What video that I showed you? Did I send to you the other day? Have you had a chance to watch it?
What video was that, Lou?
About the I'll have to send it to Simon. It's a bloke that was the head of football and sports science for Tottenham up till a few years ago.
No, I haven't watched that one yet, Lou.
Do
forgive me, Lou.
Yeah, if you find the link, send me it back and I'll send it to Simon. And Simon, when you got an hour, it's a proper, interesting podcast.
Are you going to send me the actual link, or
I'll send you the actual link? Yeah.
I'm going
to write it down on a notepad and then photograph.
Yeah, I'll post it to you. But I watched that and I was gripped by it because he was well in support of Ange, explaining, for example, one of the things what he said was about Porro going forward and getting caught out at the back, like we've all seen. And the podcast was saying, well, why can't Ange see that if we can all see it? And he was basically saying that he can see it. And when he was at Celtic, this is why I think he's going to fail, by the way, Ange. He had 2 players for each position. And as soon as someone looked tired or had a bad game, he could take them out and put, you know what I mean? Like for like. And he said if they was to be backed, like in terms of transfers, then he would succeed in the end. But he's not going to get backed, is he? So he's on a hiding to nothing, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've watched a lot of the Celtic games over the past couple of months. And what I've noticed is the passing was so much better than us at Spurs. Yeah. It was more ticky-tacky passing, wasn't it? What they do abroad.
I think they're going to. They will have. If he stays, I think a lot of the team will still go. I do think that. I think he's basically got to get his own team. You know what they say, Simon? Like the manager will get his own spine of the team in. I think he'll get like everyone. If they ain't doing it, which they're not, he will get players that do. But that sports science thing, he was well back in Ange, and he was even saying, "Look, I know what you're going to say. It's Celtic. It's Japan or Australia." He said, believe me, he's very, very knowledgeable man. And if he gets to play what he wants, and he said, they haven't got to be superstars. I've just got to be able to play and listen to what he wants them to do. He said, you will be successful. Interesting, isn't it? But he's not going to get back to his song, is he? Like, what did you call it, John? Rinse and repeat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the old rinse and repeat. Do you know what, Lou? You said about the Japanese league, right? I was watching Ange in the Japanese league as well. Yeah. That is one tin pot league.
Yeah, I bet it is, yeah.
That is just naughty football. I don't know how they can call that a football league, to be honest with you. It's like boring as crap. And it's what's
poor, bet, yeah.
Yeah, it's really poor. I'm glad we didn't sign no J League players, to be honest with you.
Well, I just want him to be. We all want him to succeed, don't we, Simon? We just want him to be given the tools to at least try. Because if he had the full team out, he had none of these injuries, and we were still 15th, I'd want him sacked. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel he's been given a fair crack at the whip. That's all I think. And this transfer window, as I said the other day, I had a little bit of a rant on me short, didn't I, John, the other day? First rant I've had. And it was about that tell. And I just said, this is panic buying, absolute panic buying. Again, no planning whatsoever has gone into this transfer window at all.
Yeah, I was waiting until the end of this transfer window. I just thought that I thought we might. Yeah, we're going to be panic buying now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been watching this transfer window just slide by, and I was thinking we've got to do something. We've got to do something. And I thought last night was like the nail in the coffin. It's like, look, it's a Levy be like, look, there you go. You got the answers all right here. All these kids, they've been sat here the whole time. Use those.
Yeah.
And then that'll be his get out clause for actually spending any money.
I did say to John, didn't I, last night? I said, all these Levy lovers, because believe it or not, there are some out there. They're saying, look, he's bidding 50, he's bidding 60 million for this tell. No, he's not. They still owe us a shed load of dough from Kane. So all he's going to say is take the money off that, if not all of it. And they were not interested. You can't say to me that they were planning for this tell from November, December. No way was they planning for him.
No, well, this is where we miss Paratici, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Paratici. He used to go after one position, but he'd have a list of about 10 names.
Yeah.
He's gone after tell. He's probably put all his eggs in one basket. He's flown over to Germany, been told to piss off. And now he's thinking, and it'll be the same. We tried, but it just run out of time. Someone's got to say, you've got to plan, or we're not going to get anywhere.
You would think if we're supposed to be on this data-driven football that it would have already been planned for us,
It hasn't, has it?
In my mind, it's a crime to not have it all worked out and all done by the end of the first week of the window. Yeah. Waiting around till the end of the window, it's a mug's game.
Yeah, and plus the premium's going to go up and up and up, isn't it?
Yeah, but they need to. They need to get Paratici back, like you said. I missed that one bit out, didn't I? There.
Is he still banned?
Yeah, he's back in June. Alistair Gold reported as well that Will Lancashire is set to head out on loan now. Burnley, Middlesbrough, West Brom, Cardiff, and the Hatters, Simon, also among interested. Spurs want to keep him playing in the Championship. He'd be a good signing.
He needs to get some experience because at the moment, he looks every time he's come on, he's looked a little bit out of his depth.
Yeah.
So I just think
he'd get Hatters, wouldn't he?
Experience, some confidence.
But Luton, I think he'd do well at Luton.
But Luton have been going a bit nuts this last week. I think they brought in about 5 players, haven't they?
I haven't bothered keeping an eye on them. I just thought they were in the shit and that's it. But they reckon, people inside the club reckon that Will Lancashire has got Kane vibes about him.
Yeah, it's a late developer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because Kane went out on loan. People forget about 3 times. I think it was Leicester, Millwall,
Norwich.
You know what I mean? I hope Lancashire goes to Luton because it's only down the road really for a minute. Well, what do you expect then from John? What do you expect from the transfer window now? Nothing.
I expect
they might get that Tamori. Do you think?
Yeah, I expect one player. That's about it. And as Simon said, he's played them kids now, and Levy's going to think to himself, "What have I got to spend when I've got kids on the bench now?"
Yeah,
and he's going to put that to hand, isn't he? He's going to say, "Well, I've got to play the kids."
Simon,
yeah.
What do you think?
Look, I mean, Dragosin going out last night. If the price they're talking about for Tamori or 25 or whatever it is, decent price for a player of his level, so you think get it done. But I still wanted a strong defensive midfielder who's going to really put a shift in. I don't want to have a striker. I know Dane came in and he scored, but he still needs more time.
I think we're going to get maybe Tamori and that's it. I mean, it's gone very quiet in the last 24 hours about Wissa from Brentford. They wanted 40 million for him. I haven't heard anything about that. Maybe they'll revisit that one. But that isn't a Levy buy to me because he's £40 million and I think he's 29.
The thing is now is because Levy's flown out to Germany, hit brick wall with that one. He's going to be. I hope he's going to be desperate to get something over the line
because of the fans' pressure. It's going to have to be a big signing, Simon, and he needs to come out like Van der Vaart vibes here.
Yeah, he needs to go Tamori +1.
Has Werner got any brothers?
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm just hoping not because if he comes back with Werner 2.0, you know what I mean.
I was going to say if he's got any brothers, they can come and get him.
But it saddens me that Tell rejected Tottenham and that Manchester United are in the mix above us. I can understand Villa to an extent because they've got Champions League football at the moment. So if he is going to come on loan, you think, I'll get some Champions League football. They're doing okay. But when it comes to Man United being above us in his decision-making, I don't think Man United are any better than us. And in fact, I'd actually say they're probably in the worst position than us.
Yeah,
I think that a loan there rather than a permanent with us is probably a better option for him right now.
They signed that Dorku as well, that left back Manchester United did yesterday, and that was a Spurs target, and that would have been a blinding signing, you know, the one from Lille, because he can play left back and he can play left centre back.
Yeah.
And he was only, I think it was 30 million or 20 million. What's going on?
It's not a lot of money, is it, really, considering?
But I'm going to have to do what you said, John, and go into that company house thing, because maybe there isn't the money that everyone's saying.
Yeah, you have to have a look at the finances. I don't know whether they dumbed down the finances, but when you look on all the big channels and they're talking 350 million, 400 million, I can't see it in the accounts how we've got that sort of money to play with. Not at all.
John was going through the accounts yesterday, trying to suss out how much money they got. But Levy's
this is the thing. I think there's a number that we're allowed to spend because of the profits and whatever we've made, but then there's also a number that we actually physically have. Because they're plowing money into all sorts, aren't they? And that's the problem. Is that the money has come in through the football side, and you're entitled to spend it, but they're not spending it on the football side. They're then doing all this infrastructure stuff and building hotels and whatever else they're doing.
Well, Simon, the Tottenham Hotspur hotel accounts was £1, £1, £1, £1. So they've not got any money. That's strange. That there's a few Tottenham accounts on there. If you look on
£1. I reckon you must have pressed on the transfer budget by accident, John.
I think I might have, Lou. But it's strange how they've got a £1 account for. Now, whenever I see a £1 account on Company House, I think something's a bit strange, a bit fishy going on.
I'll have to have a look at it myself here, but it sounds a bit sus. But I've heard from ages ago now that they've got 200 to 250 million pound what they could spend without having to worry about that FFP.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
And that's what I'm saying. They're allowed to spend that much.
Yeah, that's what they can spend.
Yeah.
But then I said to you the other night, didn't I? In the 2024 accounts, they lost 60 million in that year. So I don't. You hear so many things. But I tend to believe that 200, 250, the only reason I believe that is because it's the most consistent number that I've heard for, say, a year I've heard that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not 400 or 500 million pounds, you know what I mean? But I think if he doesn't sign anyone, I think that the chants will get louder. I did hear a few chants last night. But,
I thought that stadium was really quiet. All I could hear was the Elfsborg lot singing.
My mate went to the game, John, and he said there was more atmosphere on the moon.
Mad, isn't it?
It's because you've got tourists going in there.
Yeah.
It was only 57,000 there last night, John.
That's mad.
So there must have been load on general saying and people didn't bother. He said, my mate said they were sitting there and it was just like sitting in a cinema, to be honest.
Well, I went to General Sale, Lou. There weren't that many tickets on General Sale for there weren't that many tickets on General Sale. You know, normally you get a big block.
Yeah.
There was only like little bits and pieces, and I thought, perhaps it's sold out. I was trying to get 2 tickets, and in the end, I thought I'm not sitting in the Evans. So I
don't understand how they do that. If they say like there's 57,000 there, is that including season ticket holders, or is that how many is in the ground? I don't know how they work it out. Maybe a load of season ticket holders didn't bother going. I don't know. But I was quite surprised because normally they're a sellout every game.
Yeah.
But last night come up 57,000 on the old telly. So I don't, but I think I did hear a few Levy out chants last night. But I think we're gonna have to wait until the window. But I was saying to John Simon, you're gonna laugh at me now, and it was because Chris put a thing up on our family, the chat thing. And he asked me if I was going to do a transfer deadline live. And I thought I might just do that. But then John said I need about 60 pints of coffee. So I could go on there from about 7 till 8 and just keep going through me. Because I've got a lot of contacts, as I said to John, on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Proper contacts on there. And I thought I could do it. But then I like to be cool, calm, collective. But I know as the hours go by and the hours that Spurs don't sign them, I might lose my head. So I do this to myself every single window, even up to like a minute left. I'm still convincing myself they're going to pull something out the bag.
I used to, and it watched with Jim White and his yellow tie and all that business. But now I've given up on that now.
They might be able to watch it on here, Jeff. And still, it's got 11 o'clock.
I'll probably lose at the punch bag for another half hour.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it just drives me mad. I try not to let it. But it's so frustrating. And this is what I mean, John. I said it before, if they do a demonstration at the training ground, I am going to go because I don't want to be an hypocrite anymore, and I will go. Not at the stadium, but I will go to the training ground. Hopefully.
Are you going to stand outside Hotspur Way with a microphone?
Well, I could do, couldn't I? I could go live on my YouTube on my phone. But I just think, I'm one of those people that have been saying it, but don't bother going. It's a bit hypocritical, isn't it? So if I can go there, I can say that I've done it. Might get me mug on Sky, which is cushy. And then I'll be shouting from the rooftops because I think the only way we're going to move forward now is to get him out.
Yeah. The trouble is, if you protest at the stadium, it's a bit hypocritical because you're protesting. Pardon, Lou?
Because they do that and then they go in and watch the game.
Yeah, they're total hypocrites. So I'd rather protest at the training ground where I haven't got to watch these hypocrites walk in the stadium and buy their pints of beers, Yeah.
It's like we want you out, but here's 100 quid. Put that in.
That's like you see them on a lot of channels, and they're saying, "Don't go to the stadium, don't do this, don't do that," and they're the same people that's got like 4 season tickets for the family, and you think to yourself,
the only way to do it, right? And I've said this before, but no one will ever do it. They have all this planning, they try and complicate things too much, just like they do try and complicate football. It's a simple game, right? You go there, right? I don't know, near the end of the season when you've got a nothing match at home, right? Don't go in. Make sure it's on Sky, because Sky would love that. Just don't go in. They've got Sky reporters everywhere. There's thousands, there's 50, 60,000 people outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and there's only about 20,000 in the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on a live, could you imagine that live on Sky or TNT Sports or whatever? And there's no one in there. That's the only way he'll learn. He'll know he's proper upset people.
Do you think he gets upset by these protests?
No, because I've seen him being interviewed before, and he's very thick-skinned, he said. But also, when I want to see this video come out of him and Simon Jordan, because I reckon it must be getting edited to the max.
Yeah.
Because
we was promised that a couple of months ago, weren't we, or a month ago?
Simon Jordan's his mate, isn't it? So
yeah, best pals, isn't they?
Yeah, he'll get questions asked to him what he knows are coming.
Yeah.
He's not stupid. He's not stupid because he very, very rarely comes out, does he, and has a proper interview.
He's not transparent for a chairman at all, is he?
Does not give a shit. He's about getting himself the money. And listen, as I said on my rant yesterday, thank you, Mr. Levy, for the stadium. Thank you for the training ground. Thanks for the infrastructure and making us a safe club. Because I do remember the days when Eltel was Elfsborg and we were absolutely in the shit when we went to the cup final, the FA Cup final, and they didn't know if they was going to have a football club after that final. I remember that. So I do appreciate what he's done. But it's now you've made a lot of money, right? So now you've done your job. Now sell it, make even more money, and sell it to someone that actually cares about the football side of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ignore what he's done, but he's not in the footballer side of things. Like when we read out the other day of what the ex-manager said, that said it all to me. He's not a footballing man.
He could sell the team, and we'd just be standing tenants in the ground because it's all like separate on the accounts. There's a different company for the new stadium. There's a different company for the football team. So he could very well sell us and we just become standing tenants. So
I don't know if Joe Lewis has actually got anything to do with him anymore, has he, John? Did it say on them things?
No, I've not seen him on the accounts. No. It's Daniel Levy, Donna Cullen, and and another bloke.
I mean, Uncle Joe don't leave the Bahamas, does he?
No, but I can't remember, Simon. We had that bit of skullduggery going on in it, and he had to go.
It's Joe Lewis. He must be about 90 odd by now.
He had to go to court over something, and then he suddenly pulled out, not connecting, because all the Spurs fans are thinking, "Oh, he's dropped us right in the shit. We're going to get a points deduction, this and that." And then he suddenly pulled right away from it, or he had done when he knew the court case was coming.
Yeah, that's probably why his name's not on the accounts. They've probably put him in. I think Joe Lewis has got his in a trust fund, hasn't he, for his children?
Yeah. But he don't need the money. Like Simon said, he's about 106.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right then, boys. Is there anything else you want to add before we go? It's a short one today.
Are we going to look on X quick for a transfer?
Are we got?
I mean, for me, I'd love for us to go and have a proper go at Brentford this weekend. Yeah. But I'm worried.
Yeah, because if we lose and a few other teams lose, then we're in deep shit this week, aren't we?
What I'm trying to work out what date that is. That's the second, isn't it? Obviously, we won't have any players back. Spencer will be back. Sarah will be back.
It's too early for everybody.
Yeah. To be honest with you, if they, because of the circumstances that they're in the minute and because of the form they're in, I'd take a point at Brentford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He don't play for a draw, though, does he, Ange? That's the thing with him.
I'll just take a draw, John, no matter how it comes, John, just to stop this slump. Because, like Simon said, it's like chalk and cheese.
It is.
It actually is. You know what I mean? I didn't have Madison on there, didn't I? I think he's got 2 or 3 weeks, he said. Madison. Yeah, he's out of his calf strain. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see then. Prediction for me, I'm going to be brave and say 1-1. But he's a very clever manager, that Thomas Frank.
Yeah, he's a bit savvy, isn't he?
Well, James Simon, I'm waiting for you to say 4-0 Brentford.
Yeah, we'll do what we do. We might even go in front and we'll lose 2-1.
Yeah, we got to have it when we go in front. See, before we go, Sonny played well last night, didn't he? But was that because he knew he was up against poor defenders?
I mean, there was one moment where he did this little turn and just someone jumped at him and the defender wiped out one of his teammates.
Yeah. He won't do that in the Premier League, will he?
No. Well, that was just Elfsborg, you know.
Yeah.
They've what are they 309th, I think, in the UEFA league.
They haven't played a match for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
When's the draw? Do you know, Simon?
I don't know. No. I reckon we're going to end up with.
That's why he's one of them, isn't it? Yeah. But if we can get all our players back, we got to go for this, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've got to go for it. And then we got.
I reckon we'll get AZ Alkmaar in the next round. We'll knock them out, and then we'll see what happens in the round of 8. But this is the thing. Our season this season is just try and stay up in the Premier League and pick off one of these cups. I mean, it's a shame that the Liverpool game is coming as early as it is because we won't have anyone back for it.
What date will Thursday be?
6, I think. Yeah,
it's not one. Well, I reckon that he might play Van der Ven and Romero on that day against
but it's what we did last time, and that's how they both got injured last time.
Yeah. I think he will because he's saying they're both fit. He actually did slip it yesterday. He slipped out and said Van der Ven has been fit for maybe a week or 10 days. They took their time. They're taking their time with Romero. So, you know.
Well, they played it right yesterday. Give him 45.
Yeah.
Vicario. And it was basically that first half was a training game. He wasn't under any pressure. No. Just get him 45 minutes of game time under his belt. Probably give him 60, 75, whatever it is going to be against Brentford. But I can't see him playing the whole game there either.
No.
But Vicario is fit on the 3rd. So I'd imagine, would you think he'll come in for the Liverpool game?
No.
No?
No, I don't think he'll play him on Liverpool game.
I don't know about it. I think he might. I think.
Does the goalkeeper need much match fitness?
No, John. And you know what? You've brought me on to another pet hate of mine is when they say resting the goalkeeper for this game. I've never understood that in my life. I really don't understand.
Resting the dude that covers about 600 yards in the entire match.
Yeah, I mean, the geezer yesterday, we didn't even need a goalie yesterday, really. But Van der Ven yesterday didn't even have to make one sprint to test his hamstring out. Not one.
No, that was
But did you see the confidence around the other players, though, that he was there?
Yeah, that's what I said at the start. As soon as Mickey's back, everyone else looks at much more at ease.
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't like that midfield yesterday, though. Yeah.
You don't like Sarr, do you? But he has been a bit off it, hasn't he, lately, Sarr?
Oh, I'm Sarr and Werner are my pet hates. You know.
But who would you start against Brentford then? Basuma, Bergvall, and I suppose Kugelewski in the middle, yeah?
Still want to play Gray in the middle.
Pardon?
I still want to play Gray in the middle.
Yeah, you got to go. He does need to go. I'm just trying to think if Spence is back. I would personally play Reggie at left back against Brentford, and I'd give Spence a go right back, and I'd rest Porro. That's what I do, but I don't know if he will or not. I think that if you've got the players there to do it, just do it, Ange. Do you know what I mean? Because I think Spence will do right back in his preferred position. Well, we'll have to wait and see. You never know. We might, if they can get a good result against Brentford, take it on. I think Liverpool is going to be really tough, to be honest with you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not expecting nothing from that, but by the time the kickoff arrives, I'd have convinced myself that we're going to do it, and then I'll be pissed off after again.
I'm expecting a shit show at Liverpool. Proper
I mean, I'm quite surprised you said 3-1 against Brentford, John, to be honest with you.
I just couldn't go against Tottenham, to be honest with you.
You know
that
what?
was the only reason. In the reality, if I wasn't supporting Tottenham, I'd probably say Brentford might kill us. Yeah. You know what I mean? 3-1, but I don't know. I'm a yid. 3-1 or 1-3. Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks for coming on.
That's all right, Lou. Hey, Lou, have you shouted out your sponsor?
I put him on there while we was talking. I did put him on there while we was talking. Liam, give him a ring on there. Where's the thing he's gone? And this is Big John's YouTube account. So we'll have to go on live. You'll have to do a live soon, John. Instead of
I'll have to.
John's upsetting
everyone. People, Lou.
Hey?
Go on there, have a proper rant.
Yeah. If you want to hear a good old rant and upset everyone, Johnny's the man to see. He don't care.
I'll upset everyone.
He does, yeah. He does.
All the lovely big channels that we like to fucking slaughter. Oops, sorry, Lou. I've been trying not to swear.
John's been helping me a lot. I do appreciate it, John, but I haven't realised how clicky and things are these YouTube things are. We're not in the circle of trust, so we'll just keep going and organically get our subs, won't we, John?
Yeah, that's it. We're not going to be a one video 500 sub thing, are we? You know, we'll get them properly.
It is an
get some proper yids.
Yeah, just get one on. All right, then, lads. I'll see if you're about on Sunday night, pending the result. Hopefully, Danny will be back by then. So if you're watching this, Danny, hope you're getting better. He's had his operation and he's laid up in pain, apparently. So,
has he finally got his knee done?
Yeah.
Oh, get well, Dan.
Yeah. If it's a titanium knee and you don't want it, send it this way and I'll weigh it in, Danny.
Scrap it up.
He's going on holiday this year.
Oh, bless him, man. Hey. All right, then, lads. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for coming on, yeah? And thanks everyone.
Later, gentlemen.
Come on, you Spurs.
Later, Lou.
See you later, mate.